Hello everyone, it's me, Hyperwars here. Welcome back to FormulaPlayStation. It's round number 7 here at Germany, aka the Hockenheim Ring. Probably. Yeah. That's how we do intros, boys. Yeah, just that's how we do intros. I'll just find the stream link for you, so I can put it in the chat, and then we'll get on to everything that we've missed from the last few weeks. So as most of you would know, I wasn't here last week for round 6. Unfortunately, I was quite ill. So I think it was China last week. Yeah, I was ill. I was able to turn up for the race at one point, but I was literally just too sick to commentate on it. So that's kind of my fault for that. And yeah, sorry to all those who wanted to watch the stream and couldn't. So I'm just gonna put that out there now. It's my fault, but it's also not my fault because I can't control how I feel. Now, where the hell is FormulaPlayStation? There we go. There we go. Links in the chat, and we can get back to what we're about to do. So, apart from introducing the 12 drivers we got, well, 11 drivers we got here, I'm going to introduce the table, which is interesting. So in first place we've got F1 Buttons is back with 118 points. In second is Trench with 95 points. In third, Luke Vettel with 77 points, also at his home track. In fourth is Brown 12 with 50 points. In fifth is Lightning Poker with 44 points. Sixth is Yolob Sekro with 36 points. Seventh is F1 Mansell's back with 22 points. Eighth is RTYT San Diablo with 20 points. Ninth and 10th are Decuffs and Wee Reese, both on 18 points. In 11th and 12th is Jupiter X and Man Like Stooley with 10 points. 13th is AMVR with 8 points. 14th is Dark Knight with 4 points. 15th is Twistyard with 2 points. And 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th and 20th all have no points, so they're irrelevant. Boom boom, firing shots. Now, on to the constructors. In first is Renault with 118 points, still being carried by my man F1 Buttons is back. In second is Alfa Romeo with 105 points. In third is Mercedes with 101 points. Fourth is McLaren with 58 points. Fifth, Racing Point with 56 points. Sixth and seventh are Ferrari and Haas with 50 points. Eighth, yeah, that is right. Eighth is Red Bull with 30 points. Ninth is Williams with 20. And 10th is Scuderia Toro Rosso with 4. As we wait for one person to join back because they disconnected, but just feel free to talk about anything in chat. Don't really care. You know, say how your day's been, say how you've been, I don't know, whatever. Does it matter to me? Probably. Of course, I love you guys, really. Just download the stream up on my iPad. Give it a like. Hello to the 3 people watching. As always, don't forget to check out my own channel. It's just my PSN, Hyperwars. So if you want to go watch me commentate other leagues, so you can watch me commentate OBRC over there, or you can watch me just do random stuff, because that's basically all my channel is. As we seem to have our 12th driver back, Jupiter X has actually joined as well, which is interesting. And there we go. William Brown cheering on himself, I'm pretty sure. Or that's his brother or someone, I don't know. I don't know people's YouTube compared to their PSN. I know a few, but not all of them. Now for a few track facts about Hockenheim. It's in Germany. It's located near Hockenheim. And, yeah. The old version of Hockenheim was a lot better than the new one, in my opinion. Then again, the old version was basically like a German short version of Le Mans. And yeah. Oh, Burton X is left. Big rip. Looks like it's a dry qualifying to start off with. Who is going to be the first man out? So Burton X didn't even get to pick a car. Which is a big rip. Looks like Trench and Brown are both setting on the mediums. Who will be the first one out? And it is a Williams, and that is Quistard. So as people would know by watching myself, I always like to go and watch the first guy out on a lap. So we're going to watch Quistard. I mean, there's nobody actually else to watch yet, so say that Jupiter X comes out, but you know what I meant, guys. You know what I meant. So Quistard, Jupiter X and Reese all looking to start on the softs. RTYC is put on the hards, and Brown is coming out on the mediums. But all Trench coming out too, as well as decals. But again, we'll keep with Quistard, see what he can do in his toothpaste colour car. And that's it. That's the end of the toothpaste jokes for this week. Anyone else picking any different kind of tyres? No? Okay. As you can see, the hot lap has been bumped in early for Quistard, and he is ready to take his lap. We are right on board with him, just to see what his lines are like. Luckily no spin on the apex. Had to brake a bit though. Did not look comfortable. As into sector 1, yes, avoid Glove Sekro, who's gone very, very deep, I'd say. Yeah, flying in sector 1 and sector 3, but nobody cares. Because we're watching Quistard, who has used up almost half his ERS already. Germany's one of those tracks where if you keep it in hot lap, it's going to run out. So again, the sensible thing to do around Germany is just to try and not use it as much. But again, as hot laps used everywhere, it's kind of hard to do so. As you can see, Quistard is about to lose his meter on the last few corners here. Probably just to get to the pit lane. I don't know, even before that. And there we go, he's lost it. Lost his ERS, which means he's lost a bit of speed coming on the main straight. So 114.3 will have to do. I'm going on to watch Reese now to see what he can set. His ERS seems to be at full, so I'm assuming that he's not taking this lap very well. No, so one... Oh no, it's invalidated, that's why. Back onto Jupiter X. Looks like he's not had a good start. RTYT, San Diablo. He's used up a hell of a lot of ERS here. But his bottom gauge is looking quite alright. So on these hards, looking to start slower. Trench sets the fastest lap with Brown coming through for 119.4. And RTYT puts himself in third position, just behind the toothpaste man. Watching F1 Buttons is back currently. The guy leading our championship at this point in time. F1 Buttons back set at 113.6 on the softs. Still not beating Trench's medium time, which, to be honest, looks very beatable. So, I do wonder. Burton X has finally rejoined, and Reese has set a 1:11.8, 1.3 seconds quicker than Trench. And you'd have to say that Reese could be even a good shout of the win today, with a time like that in comparison to everyone else. Oh, Button's back's going back into the pits. And I've missed the fact that Brown's improved his lap, and Decuffs has also set a lap of 1:14.0. Golub set a 1:13.127, 4 thousandths of a second quicker than Trench. This could be interesting. Nobody in the 112s yet. So nobody's actually within, well, nobody's within a second of Reese. So it's something's got to change here, and I think all that something could be Luke Vessel. And he's managed his ERS well, it looks like, and he's actually not going to run out until he hits the line. And he goes in second with a 1:11.956. Won't have enough ERS to finish the lap on, but nonetheless, he's put himself up into second, which now means that a lot of these guys... Oh, Decuffs has had an accident. A lot of these guys have a lot to do to try and improve, should we say. RTYT looking to go on the mediums. F1 Mansel's back for some reason. Has put on... okay, he's for some reason put on the hards. Oh, Trench has also gone on to the softs. We're keeping Jupiter X just to see what he can do. See if he can set a fast enough lap to get in front of RTYT. Only one place in today's race will not be given points, and also will not get into the top 10. Who that may be, I couldn't really tell you yet. But with Burton X trying to join and join and leave, I really can't tell you what's going to happen. Might decide Wi-Fi out, you know, just reconnect, disconnect and reconnect. You know, just sort out that Wi-Fi cable. You know, phone a friend, phone your dad, see what they can do about it. As Jupiter X not looking like he's about to set the fastest lap in this race, or quali session, but it could be close to the 1 minute 15s, 1 minute 16s, 1 minute 16.0 on the softs. Not the best of laps, if I'm being honest, but a lap nonetheless. From Buttons is back, looks like he's decided not to do an outlap here. Well, to do 2 outlaps, my apologies. Or he could have just had it invalidated. Reese, on the other hand, looking to improve. Never mind, not looking to improve. Quistard, though, is looking to improve on his lap time. We'll compare Sector 2's in a moment, once he gets past Sector 2. Also wondering if F1 Mansel's back can improve on those hards. And he set his first lap on the softs, now going to the hards to see if he can do better. Not something I'd advise, but if he can do it, then it would be a very good strategy to pull. So Quistard currently looking only a little bit better in Sector 1. Sector 2, 4 tenths slower. Got to get this Sector 3 much more perfect. Bit of a clip on both curves there. It will be a 1:14.2 which is faster than his recent lap, however not fast enough to move up positions. I'm going to go to F1 Maxwell's back just to see what his lap will be. And he's got to be... oh, nope, he's gone back in. Could have just been a test of tyres, in all fairness, so... I'm just giving excuses for people now, so I don't really know. Trent is on out lap on his softs. Brown is also setting a new lap on his softs, going from the mediums. And RTYT starts his flying lap, seeing if he can improve on these mediums over the hards that he was using. But he's got a car in front of him, and it's a wild Golub Sekro, who looks to be also on a lap. Now he can use the slipstream of Golub here to, you know, gain an advantage. Golub being his teammate, I'm sure he'd oblige happily. Which he has done. You know, that's definitely improved RTYT's lap time by at least a few tenths. And, you know, I'm sure he can get, oh, definitely into the top 5 of that. Especially if his hard lap time was bad, which I think it was, for RTYT at least. As Brown seems to have improved his time to a 112.3, Golub Sekro also improving his time to a 112.9. Oh, my mic seems to have almost just gone there. And RTYT sets a 113.9, moving himself up into 7th, just behind F1 Maxwell's back. However, F1 Buttons is back, still the only person not to have set a lap time yet. Quite worried for him here. Kind of hoping that he doesn't, you know, stay at the back and do a last to first. And that might be a good thing, depending how awful the first tournament is. But knowing the fact that it is Germany, it's a fast circuit, you don't want to be at the back. That's all I'm going to say. You don't want the leaders speeding off and leaving you in the dust. Trench coming out there and setting a rejection lap, or as most people would call it, an invalid lap. Just see what he can do. See if he can get back up into the top 3 positions like he was only a minute ago. Well, it's like a minute and a half ago, but, you know, it was a while ago. Again, Trench just in the top 5, top half of the standings here. Probably hoping that he can get top 3 this race, I'd say. Obviously, he's top 3 in the standings. You know, he's just behind F1 Buttons is back by a good 20-something points. So, you know, it's not too hard to believe that Trench here, with a win, is looking just to beat Buttons back and get a really good result. As he comes over the line with a 1 minute 12.1, just beating Brown, and is 2 tenths off Luke Vettel, 3 off Reese. F1 Buttons is back, on the other hand, looking to go on a hard strategy. Obviously the hards are quite a bit slower than the softs, but with Buttons, you know, looking to change it up a bit. He could come out here, set a quick lap, and then be quite near the front on these longer stint tyres. Again, the best strategy would be mediums to hards, but if you can start on the hards and then go to mediums, you'll have a bigger advantage. As Buttons is back, will come home for 1 minute 14.3, with very little time to improve. That looks... Oh, that is his first and last lap, as he is out of the session in 10th. Jupiter X has to improve, you know, just to be able to even have a chance of getting in the top 10. I mean, again, Jupiter X could do with different tyres, and maybe he'd want that. F1 Buttons is back, on the other hand, probably not the most happiest with that. I wouldn't be, so... And my apologies for that, I was just checking if we had any extra messages. First one out on a new lap is F1 Mansell's back. He's coming out back on the mediums again. His best lap was on a soft slow. So he's trying to beat a soft lap with a medium lap. I mean, it's risky, but again, if it works, it will set him up better for the race. RTYT looking to beat his medium time on the hards, which again is going to be pretty risky. But again, if it works, it works. So, I mean, who am I to shoot them down for having a crack? Still, the fastest lap time being that 1:11.8 that reset quite early on in the session, and it's looking to be quite the formidable time. With Vettel being only a 10th behind though, it could be broken. F1 Mansell's back here will be coming through with a 1:13.98, sorry, which does not improve his lap time. Good of Sekro's not doing his lap. Brown, however, needs to be a 1:12.3, and oh, he's definitely done that. He's got a 1:12.1, which has beaten Trench by 1,000th as Reese sets a brand new fastest lap. Well, I feel bad for Trench here, but not too bad. F1 Mansell's back, not having another go here. Quisquiard just using these softs as much as possible. And I'm pretty sure Luke Vettel's made this. Jupiter X has retired from the session, putting himself in 11th. Trench has spun it on his lap, meaning he won't improve. And looking at people who are near the start, Trench being there, a bit of a safety hazard, but still, he's there. Mansell's back will definitely be giving Luke Vettel some good slipstream here. He's not really trying to break it, obviously. He knows that he's just got to focus on his lap. But Luke Vettel has been slowed down by the Red Bull, and having to overtake him will not be helping Luke Vettel's lap at all. Especially considering that Mansell's also on a lap, as he's been pushed off there by Luke. I mean, Luke probably knows that he can't improve his lap here, but I mean, as luck would have it, he's got a better second sector, and his first wasn't too bad either. Feel bad for F1 Mansell's back though. Could have got at least a position, but Luke Vettel going across the grass, crashing into the wall, not improving that much. I'm sure the stewards will have a lot to say about that one. And by the stewards, I mean Trench. And the only reason I have a lot to say about it is because Luke Vettel's a championship contender. But Reese gets pole, Luke in second, Brown in third, Trench fourth, Golub fifth, Mansell in 6th, Diablo 7th, Decuss 8th, Quistard 9th, Buttons back 10th, Jupiter X 11th, Buttons back and Reek, the only two on different tyres for the start of the event. Again, even though it doesn't really matter what tyres you're on because different strategies can come into play. Yeah. What I have to say is at least it's sunny. Don't think I could have stood with a wet race today. But here we are at the sunniest of places. It's Germany. My awful comedy is not going to get me anywhere. Jupiter X first already up. Thank you. Do always like it when we have quick ready ups. I mean, there's not much strategy you can sort out of Park Ferme on. You can sort out your next tyre set, which you can do in race anyway, and you can start your fuel. That's literally it. All you have to do is press square, press the down arrow twice, and that's it. And formation lap. So we have from tyre that none of these are actually changing. Oh, Belt. He was in, but he's not. What a shame. So the only person who's changed tyres is Jupiter X. Obviously the only person who's allowed to. We'll keep it on position change for the first few laps. Tyres won't come into effect for a while anyway. As you can see, people are... Is this the first race that these guys have kept formation? No, of course it's not. Goes to Golob. Yeah, so people have not kept formation. Quistard looking a bit, yeah, like Quistard is. Decuff seems to be in front of Mansell for some reason, same as RTYT. But anyway, none the water. Just to get all croaky or anything. And you know, kind of want everything just to stay good. As you get the drivers lining up on the grid. Version X obviously not in the lobby. Well, technically, unless he does somehow appear out of nowhere. Nope, doesn't appear out of nowhere. He's not in. 5 red lights for the German Grand Prix, round number 7 of FPS. And away we go. It's a decent start from the Ferrari behind. Oh, the Williams back there of Decuffs hitting into the Force India of RTYT Diablo. And the McLaren of F1 Buttons is back, and oh, all three of them are fighting for one position here. It's a dive bomb from Jupiter X. F1 Buttons is back, it's been overtaken. Currently it looks like there's only been one overtake that's mattered, which is the F1 Buttons is back on Quistard. Luke Vettel very close to Reese, looking to go for the undercut here. On the corner, doesn't really work. Trench overtakes Golob, well, re-overtakes I guess. So, was Brown third? Oh, I thought Trench was third. Okay. It looks like the Williams of Decuffs going a bit wide on half these corners. Not sure if he's just something wrong with him or if it's just Decuffs taking those lines, but definitely don't look ordinary. Apparently Button is in this race because he says he's 2 tenths behind. So you get a flag in sector 3. What's happened here? Who's trashed? It's Decuffs. Decust has ended up in the gravel, not sure how. I think grass, not gravel. Duh. But he's also overtaken Jupiter X, who's for some reason now overtaken him. As Buttons back retires from the session, presuming he spun it here. Yep, yes he did. His wheel being off. So Luke Vettel, 4 tenths behind the leader. Trench in third after overtaking Brown. Didn't really give him much space there. But then Brown also gave him... Then also gave him too much space at the other side, so... You can't win. Followed by Golub, F1 Mansell's back, RTYT Sad Diablo, Quistiard, Jupiter X, then D-Cuffs. Closest battle at the moment is RTYT and Mansell's back. Sector 3 is kind of the sector where you can't overtake anyone due to how narrow the track is. And you know how many turns there are. So it's kind of just an area where you have to follow and wait for the DRS straight. Obviously DRS not available this lap. But with 3 laps to go on, the best start coming from Jupiter X, worst start coming from D-Cuffs. Well, technically we could say F1 Mansell's back. Button's back, sorry. But it's kind of hard to say that. As I was watching the battle back there, and it looks like Luke Vettel and Reese are fighting for the lead here. Luke Vettel just keeping on hot lap. He's doing up the inside of Reese. Reese will just slot in behind as Vettel takes the inside line and looks to also take the lead. Decuffs off into the pits for a second time, I believe. It's a 5-second penalty for speeding in it. No, he hasn't gone in before. Okay. Just that when you go in the pits, obviously it doesn't register a lap until you've gone past the start-finish line. RTYT very close to F1 Mansell's back. That's dropped off a bit. But with the 3 DRS straights up here, this should be interesting. Reese blocks off a bit as Luke Vettel gets a penalty. Reese going to the inside. They're neck and neck in the first corner. Reese not getting much space whatsoever. Yeah, him and Luke fighting very hard for this. And we've got awful camera angles. But apparently Luke Vettel did get overtaken, as we can clearly see it. We can also see Decuffs quite far behind, with Quistiard also going into the pits. Now onto a battle that's a little bit less important than the lead. It's Mansell's back along with RTYT, both of them fighting for a position here. Mansell's back currently the worst person on softs, whilst RTYT is the best person on the mediums. I mean, no offence to Mansell, because technically Decuffs and Quistiard were both also on the softs. So, you know, take that as you like. Decuffs is retired, unfortunately. And that confirms that everyone else gets a point now, if they survive. As Brown's off into the pits, just for a tyre change. And RTYT has also crashed out. I'm guessing if we watch here, yeah, we'll just see a Wild Force India that's crashed. So I'm not sure that was a brake check. Oh no, it wasn't a brake check, it was a safety car. Never mind. Trench was about to make the move, but the safety car came out. So for all the incidents, RTYT's won. Now, this is the point where the top 5 all go in the pits at the same time. And Brown takes the lead because he's on fresh mediums. And these guys have to maintain pace. So, you know, Brown, who's a little bit far back, could be within a shot of taking first. Again, there will be no problem with that for him. And the only problem would be that Jupiter X may not be able to get second. Or as Trench almost hits Luke Vessel going into the pits. Brown needs to speed up if he wants that victory. Oh, the dirty animation spin. So, RTYC just telling us that. That's why he was out. And Wee Reese out in first. Golob second. Trench third. Brown third. Trench fourth. Luke Vessel fifth. Brown not quick enough to be able to take the lead. Luke Vessel held up the most though. Jupiter X was also coming for some fresh mediums. And Quistiard is just enjoying life for once. Who will be out first though? Jupiter X or Quistiard? I have a feeling it will be Quistiard. And yes, it is. Jupiter X, unfortunately, not able to get the place. So we're now stuck with the leaders. Could have sworn I saw another comment pop up. And this is about time we check the actual PSN chat, just to see what's going on. Okay, so in chat, there's a little argument between Mansell and Luke. And, yeah, Luke just saying that Mansell ruined his lap. Mansell saying that he was obviously on a flying lap and he shouldn't have pushed past. And then, Decuffs, after he crashed, said he's sick and tired of these, shit tyres. So I'm supposed to keep swearing to a minimal, but that was a quotation from a driver, so I'm allowed to say that. Hee hee hee. My safety car this early in the race is not the best, and everyone's just trying to still bunched up. Very slow, keeping a distance from the safety car, obviously, as it jumps back at people. As you can see, the pack all in a line, and we didn't even see that on the formation lap, so surprised people can do it on under a safety car. And yeah, I'm firing shots because, you know, what else are you supposed to do us as a safety car? I mean, looking at this, Golob should be the best off the line at least, as well as Quistiard. They should both be the best because they're on the better tyre. Reese may have a slight advantage as he's first. The only other person to really gain anything from it would, well, actually I don't really know anyone else who would gain from it. Maybe Trench and Luke Vessel, as they've been out a lap less than Brown. Mansell's back, not really able to do anything. Oh, as Mansell's back, hit Luke Vessel. Fun times. We're racing again. And moves are not being made because they never are under a safety car restart. Mansell's back with a penalty. Golob was overtaken by Brown. Wasn't expecting that one. Obviously DRS not yet active. Luke Vessel though on the back of Trench. They're both seeing Golob. Trench not trying to give the room. Luke Vessel just dives it in there. Almost has a bit of a spin. This could lead to Trench getting on his tail and making that overtake. But I don't think he will. And he's looking to dive it here. And the dive hasn't worked, unfortunately, as he's still round the outside. Again, you can't make the overtake through those corners if you're on the outside. But it does make for good battling, so... You know, there's pros and cons. So from that safety car, it looks like we've had a bit of a mix-up on grid. Brown and Godub looking better, Luke Vettel and Trench not doing so hot. You know, everyone's made at least one pit stop. Quizguard now on 2. And Brown with the fastest lap. So, yeah. You know, I'd call that a great success. For Brown. I mean, for anyone else, it's kind of just... Yeah. It kind of just happened. I mean, Brown definitely gained the most. Probably could have been third if he picked up the pace. First, sorry, if he picked up the pace as everyone went into the pits, but again, with the safety car speed regulations, you can't really complain. And personally, I wouldn't have them in, but that's my choice. I'm not the FIA. Not by decos. Anyway, we're keeping with Luke Vettel's DR. Oh, resets the fastest lap. I was about to say DRS should be enabled, which it will be obviously for the main straight. Luke Vettel though, trying to get past the Force India in front of him. DRS enabled for him. We're seeing a pretty awful shot. Let's see if we can get a better one here on with Golub, who's defending the inside, forcing Luke to go round the outside. Luke won't need to do that as he clips the corner and will take him for the inside of the next corner. Oh, never mind. Golub with a burst of speed there will have the inside here and can defend for a while. And that's a while gone as he hits into Trench, rejoining the track. Trench is out. I mean, I'm assuming Golub had no idea Trench was there. Didn't look malicious, but gosh, did Trench's car flipping look... Well, if it was a real crash, that would have been scary. Brown just losing the back end a bit, obviously coming off with DRS. So Trench down in 8th. This is earning some points on his championship rival. F1 Buttons is back. Unless they have the rule of, you know, if you don't finish 80% of the race, I think, or was it 75? Oh, 75 or 80% of the race, you don't get points. Or 90 in some leagues, actually. Yeah, I feel bad for those leagues, because like there's some races where 90% is like the second to last lap. And for example, for Belgium Grand Prix or Singapore, you're doing something like 22 laps, 23. So you've gone up to lap 20, which has probably taken you, I don't know, including pit stops, about... Well, not 50 minutes, about 30 minutes, 35 minutes. You've sat there for that long and, you know, also done quali, which has probably pushed it up to about 50 minutes now. You know, and plus all the breaks and stuff. It's a bit unfair, but, you know, some leagues work, so... Looks like the only gains that are being made currently are, well, nobody. Luke Vettel might be closing in on Brown. as we are 5 laps away from the halfway point of this session, and unfortunately we almost lost half of our drivers. We lose one more and we're almost down to half, more or less. Oh well, no, we will be down to half, including the second button being out, or Burton, however you want to say his name. F1 Mansell's back is closing in on Golob. I think his softs are wearing out quite quickly. So Mansell not close enough for DRS. But could soon gain up to that if my prediction's right and Golob's tyres are awful. And yet, Trench, I saw what happened between you and Golob. And flick back a bit in the stream, have a look what happened. I personally say, obviously it was Golob's fault, but I personally say he didn't mean it. Obviously he just came back on track, probably didn't see where you were. I wouldn't give him too harsh a penalty for that, but if he does get one, you know, it's taking you out and ending your race, so. And I guess Golob just had a bad lap. I'll compare lap times so far. Golob. Oh, yep, his first sector was worse on the last lap. But, oh no, Mansell's had the worst second sector, but apart from that, he's been okay. Quistiard with a 3-second time penalty. Fun times. And I'm glad you know he didn't mean to, because, you know, I wouldn't want you to give him the penalty and him being like, I'm sorry, and just being horrible and mean. Fun times. And like, nobody's really gaining up to anyone else at this moment in time. Luke Vettel sitting 2 seconds behind Brown. Brown toying between half a second of Reese, depending which way. Well, going both ways, you know, swinging one side, swinging the other, just like a pendulum, really. F1 Mansell, obviously we're riding on board, keeps going between 1.5 and 2.5 seconds between him and Golob. After Quistiard is kind of gaining to Jupiter X, but also kind of isn't, so look at that as you might. And yeah, I know he lost it. I did watch. Oh, Luke Vettel's closed in 3/10 on Brown here. And we can just see him in this. Well, not just seen him, but we saw him in the thing. Golob going into the pits after 9 laps on the softs. He's changing to the hards, which will take him to the end of the race. 19 laps on them. Jupiter X, obviously he's done 9 already. Quistiard, probably doing the same thing here. Anyway, he's taking the softs 10 laps. I'm sure he can take the mediums 19. Nope, on to the hards. And speaking of going the distance, I think Brown could soon be in for another stop. Maybe about lap 16 or 17. Coming in for, well, actually he could come in this lap, going for, actually no, I'd say yeah, going next 2 or 3 laps, go for 2 sets of softs, taking 9 laps each. As Reese is just there setting fastest laps. He is having a field day. So you either do on 2 sets of softs, get the fastest lap, or go hards till the end. Which is what most people should be doing, unless they're going for fastest lap. Again, I'd say Luke Vettel in this situation, kind of wants to stay out as long as possible. Also wants to turn his ERS down, but that's by the by. And he needs to stay out as long as possible because Reese and Brown in front of him kind of determine his pace. You know, if he goes in first, what's happened here then? Oh, they're just overtaking each other. Okay, cool. So yeah, if Luke Vettel goes in first, the other two can stay out longer, and you know, maybe get the better of him, and have fresher tyres near at the end. It's Jupiter X hits Golub, and then fully forces him off track too. I think he gives the position back though. Unfortunately, I was trying to switch to Golub, but he made the overtake. Yeah. And if Reese and Brown come in, then Luke can also come in at the same time. So he's kind of got to catch 21 here. As Trench predicts Luke's catch up by lap 25, I'm saying he can probably catch up now, because he's been doing it the whole race and he currently looks faster than Reese. Even though the fastest lap done by Reese doesn't say the whole story, but that doesn't prove my point at all, but still. You know, Luke's 2.5 seconds behind Reese, when Brown was only like 1.5 seconds behind. Luke was 2 seconds behind Brown. So, you know, Luke's definitely gained time on Reese, and he can definitely catch up to Reese as well. So it's definitely possible, as we have reached the halfway point here. Can finally say that. Reese staying out another lap. Luke Vettel doing the same. And Brown keeping in the trend of staying out. Got the DRS wide open. And hopefully, Brown won't be able to make a move, but at least he can keep up with Luke here. Again, not going to gain much, maybe 2 or 3 tenths at max. But again, those 2 or 3 tenths are vital for Brown to stay in this competition. Speaking of staying in the competition, penalty-wise, Reese has got none, Luke Vettel has 1, and Brown has 1. So Reese has currently got a big gap in comparison to the others. I mean, currently that gap is 2.3 seconds. That might as well just be saying 5.3. Because without a single warning yet, Reese is going for a perfect race. And we all like to see it, but you know, not until the end of the not until like the end of the season or something. As Brown has another penalty, meaning that Luke Vettel is now 3 seconds in front of him rather than 0.7. Again, Brown just using the DRS, keeps pushing, keeps just trying to get closer and closer to Luke Vettel here. And the better he can follow, the more likely he is to stay there. Luke Vettel not setting the best lap times in comparison to Reese. Oh well. As it does look like these guys will be staying out so that they can go from mediums to mediums, possibly going out to about lap 15. Not lap 15, sorry, lap 21. So they've gone 15 laps with their mediums. But no, Luke Vettel has gone into the pits. He's not able to take his mediums any longer than 13 laps, as Reese is just able to continue. Luke Vettel putting on a new set of mediums, yet he couldn't take them any more laps. So I guess he's just trying the undercut, really. F1 Max's back, gained up about 15 seconds on Luke Vessel. It's a good little catch up there. The only thing I could say is that Jupitex may be looking to pit onto the softs at the end of his hard stint. And going from lap 6 to lap 34 would be quite impressive. But again, I wouldn't really suggest it. It's not the fastest strat, it's not the best strat. So I'm expecting him to change tyres. Well, at least at some point. As Reese is in the pits, along with Brown. We're going to watch on with Reese to see what happens with him. He tried to have the best in-lap he could. Had a tyre change. Luke Vettel out on the main straight. We can see Reese there coming out of the pits. It's going to be tight. But Reese just about gets it. And he actually backs... Well, he looks like he backs off there. But nope, he's played that smartly. He's now got DRS. And is slightly away from Luke Vettel. So Reese playing that well. Very good defending and knew when to quit too. As Mansell's back goes in the pits. Brown went on to the hards. It's like Jupiter X also going into the pits. Queestard now in front of him. Jupiter X onto old mediums. Okay then. Oh, he's not had that many stops, does he? No, only 2. I mean, Queestard's had the most stops. But we've got this front fight, so this will take us for the next 13 laps. And will amuse me for a little while. Queestard's closing up behind F1 Mansell's back. But again, only because Mansell's back went into the pits. I mean, I'm not really sure why he chose the hards there. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone could have chosen the mediums and have been relatively fine, but oh well. Luke Vettel holding out from that overtake. I wouldn't recommend it. Again, his ERS is low as hell. I mean, Luke's not really the kind of guy to conserve at all with his ERS. He just tries to go flat out every lap. And I guess that's how you do try and drive to your best. As he's down to 0.4 seconds behind Reese. He's going to need that gap to be about 0.3 or 0.2 by the time he's on to the long straight. But he's got a fastest lap, so you know he's pushing and he's trying his hardest to get there. And getting the fastest lap with battling is quite impressive. So ride on board, see what's going on. He is 0.2 seconds behind. Will this be enough? He's closed in so much. Reese has got the inside. Luke Vettel going for the inside of the next corner on the tight hairpin, and has now got in front of Reese. Reese still has fight in him, and I'm sure he'll know what to do in this situation and will try and combat it. Trench, I can say you were right that Luke would have caught up, and with a good undercut too. It's a very good undercut, if I must say. But now the goal for Luke is to gain 2.5 seconds in 11 laps. And that's probably going to be the hardest task he has all season. Well, because obviously Germany has 3 DRS straights. And with DRS, I can tell you Reese will not let off. But as long as he knows if he keeps in DRS, he knows that Luke can't win this race. As Luke looks to let him by. Yep, I have been saying that Luke's pen really does screw him up in this situation. But like you say, Trench, in the comments, if they battle, Brown could be an outsider for it. However, on the hards, and with these two still setting fastest laps, I'm going to say the chances of that are zilch. Luke Vessel now with DRS. Reese with the fastest lap, setting a 1:14.9. I'm sure that will be broken very soon. And the gap is 0.3 of a second. As DRS opens up, we get a poor view. And Luke Vessel, just like he was 2 laps earlier, is round the inside of Reese. And Reese is now down to second again. This keeps up like this every lap, then well, Reese still wins, but on track Reese wins without pens. And Luke Vettel getting second in his home race is still a very good achievement. So you can't take that away from the man. Now, I would just like to say, think about things we can expect this race. I think we can expect Jutex, 1, to be lapped very soon. And 2, to come into the pits and just plop on some softs. And especially if he gets lapped. Again, he doesn't look to be gaining any positions here. He just looks to be there. So it'd probably be best for him just to plop on some softs about, well, his lap 28, maybe his lap 29. And just see if he can get fastest lappers. Luke Vettel, I think, has actually just made the overtake round the inside, you know. I mean, bloody hell. Luke Vettel has technically kept the position there. Even though he got overtaken on the straight, he was able just to get it back very, very quickly. So 7 laps left to go. Reese and Vettel still fighting. Vettel still needing a hell of a lot to be able to beat Reese. And there are blue flags in front, which would mean that Jupitex has come in contact with them. Now, if Jupitex stays there for a while, whilst these two fight, it could mean that the guy in first place, which at this point in time will be Luke Vessel, will be Reese. Nope, it will. No, oh, it will just be one of the two of them. We'll actually get DRS off them on the main straight. So with the blue flag car, it also means that it could screw the leader up. As you can see, Jupiter just here, not really slowing down Luke Vessel, but also slowing down Luke Vessel as he goes into the pits. Christian gets a 3-second time penalty. Both of them have DRS this time round, meaning that Reese loses time on this corner. He's actually lost the car as well. And is now behind a whole second. Jupiter X on the softs. Did Reese get a warning for that? He's got a warning the last few laps. So Reese having no DRS, Brown with another penalty. I say another like it's happening a lot. It's actually not, but Reese is now only 1.5 seconds in the lead. And yes, I mean Reese, because Luke Vettel needs to get another 1.5 seconds, 1.8 now, so his penalty does not come into effect. With Reese closing him down very, very quickly, that is not going to be the case, as it so looks. Again, Reese with yet another lap of no DRS. No warning there for him, I believe. But he did get on the pavement, so... well, curb, technically. So again, it's not looking the best for Reese at this point in time, but he's still got that penalty advantage, which he probably knows about by now. With 5 laps left to go, he is in the driving seat. Literally and figuratively. Because I'm pretty sure this gap's about to go down to a second. Yep, there it goes. Under a second, Reese is now back into DRS territory. And at times Reese has had to go onto the pavements, curbs here. Knowing how dodgy this track actually is with its track exceeding limits, I won't be surprised if Reese gets caught out. He's got no DRS this time, and there's Reese's penalty. I knew it was coming. I said it like 5 seconds ago. Luke is now properly in the lead. Not just on track, but with penalties too. And that means this is a fight to the death. Or to the podium, I guess. And yeah, first place. Luke Vettel with a slight knock on Reese there. That's gone down by 4 tenths on where he would have been. Possibly even more of the acceleration he has to put out there. And this battle is going to be a long one. You can just sense the tension in the air between the two of them. Nance is back with a 3-second time penalty. Jupiter still not set fastest lap, but I'm sure he's tried. Actually, I know there won't be any overtaking here. Jupiter, let's see, what laps has he set? Oh, he set a 1:16.3. You know, he's trying at least. You respect that. Putting the effort in. As Luke Vettel's back down to 0.3 seconds behind. Reese with a slightly better exit. Oh, no, actually, no. Luke Vettel with a slightly better exit. Reese swerving a bit to try and defend. And you're not really allowed to do that on a straight, but... you know, whatevs. It's a good fight nonetheless, and we can appreciate good fights. Oi, Quistard, get into the pits, go set fastest lap. Same with Hugo Love and Mansell. See, actually no, Brown, I think if anyone's going to go set fastest lap, it should be Brown's. Go put on some softs, my lad. Like, you've got no chance for the win. Go put on the softs. Just see what you can do. Do it, do it, do it. And again, fastest at point is, I think it's in this league. Trench, give me an update on that one. Fastest at point. Do you do that or not? I mean, I would. Yeah, I'm just waiting on the idea of fastest lap point. It's lap 32. You know, Brown's is on kind of old mediums here, well, hold hards here. Can't go set fastest lap, can't get the win. Anyone in the chat, can you tell me about fastest lap point? Yay, no? And I could probably just count up the standings and be like, is that enough points? But I kind of need a quick answer. Ooh. As Reese slides a bit there. Luke Vettel coming through to start lap 33. I mean, if Browns did come in the pits, he would have to do it now, which he's not. I want to see if Golub does. I don't think he will. And Quistard is about to be lapped, so... And the gap to leaders for Quistard, 1:11. And these two so close to each other. And it looks like Quistard may get dragged into it on the final lap. Looks like Golub did not go in the pits. Mansell's back is the only one really with a chance to do it. And I'm sure he won't. Nope, he's staying out. So I'm just going to assume that there's no fastest at that point. Or I'm just going to say that people have missed an opportunity. One of the two. But anyway, final time Luke Vettel comes across the line until the end. Reese 4 attempts behind him. The sunlight is shining down on the second straight here. As the sunlight wants to know, will the German man win? Or will the born and bred British boy win at the German Grand Prix? Luke Vettel swerving to defend from Reese. Reese goes to the inside to completely cut Luke off there. Luke running him out of road. Quistard just enjoying the view of that fight. The two of them going side by side. Oh, Luke cuts back in there. And unfortunately gets hit. Wouldn't say that's Reese's fault at all. Luke went in there for the lunge and he knew what was at stake. Reese hits the grass though. That's going to screw up the next few corners at least. He could be slidey. If he runs wide of the final corner due to dirty tyres and even gets a penalty from it, that will be the worst feeling in the world for Reese. But he doesn't, as he has won the German Grand Prix. Luke Vettel second. Quistard confirming 6th. Brown's got a dodgy engine. But Brown will come across the line in 3rd. It will either be Golub or Jupiter X in 4th. Well, I mean, Golub will be in 4th. Jupiter X will be in 7th. But like the next person to come across the line is Jupiter X, confirming his 7th place. Golub will be next, confirming 4th. Unless he gets a penalty because of the trench incident. And in 5th is F1 Mansell's back. Who will actually just about come across the line, probably before the 2-minute marker. And there we go. So, for my driver of the day... It's a tough one, to be honest, for my driver of the day. It's a really tough one. I don't like giving it to the guy who wins, but... and I have to say but... Reese's last lap overtake makes him deserved of Driver of the Day. So well done Reese for winning and getting Driver of the Day. And well done to Luke, Vettel and Brown for getting on the podium. And well done to everyone else for just being there. And finishing. Yeah. That's the end of stream. But as you can see, the top 6, all with penalties, probably Jupiter X too. A 3-stopper from both Quistard and Jupiter X. Not the best of races. But without that all being said, I would like to thank everyone for watching this stream, and I will see you next week for round number 8. Peace.